I don't know why it's called Oprox.
Hello, start this gangsta shit. Mr. Mother, thanks I'm good. Hello, I started this gangsta shit.
Oh yeah, alright. Can you dig it? Welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. My name is Ethan Van Sciver, 25-year veteran of this SJW converged comic book industry. Great big Star Wars fan. Happy to have you here with me today. So what the hell? Is James Mangold directing Boba Fett or not? What is going on exactly? Yeah, there are all kinds of questions. Lucasfilm has trouble with messaging. They have serious trouble with messaging. I honestly don't know what's going on anymore. You don't know what to believe. Something leaks to the media, and then hours later, maybe a day later, they'll retract it and say, no, that's not true. That's not the case. Not too long ago, Lucasfilm, it was said, was canceling all of their Star Wars story one-shots. That was dire. That was in reaction to the miserable failure of Solo, a Soy Wars story, which has lost tens of millions, nay, probably hundreds of millions of dollars at the box office due to mismanagement by Kathleen Kennedy, hiring Ron Howard to fix a movie that was becoming a comedy due to the ridiculous script written by John Kasdan. So much social justice, so much stupidity in the script that the Lego movie directors, Chris Miller and Phil Lord, had no choice but to make it into something funny. Kathleen Kennedy didn't like that, hired an industry veteran to come in and fix it, and that cost money, and that cost Lucasfilm their very first Star Wars bomb. In reaction to that, Lucasfilm, it is said, is in bunker mode, trying to figure out exactly what to do. We are told that Kathleen Kennedy is on borrowed time. Her job was taken from her pending replacement. They're just looking for somebody who wants this job. Now, that isn't easy because basically Kathleen Kennedy and her band of weirdo Lucasfilm cronies and loyalists have made Star Wars such a toxic brand that everyone is afraid, normal people are afraid to come in and try to rescue it. This is more of this fear-mongering right here. This is absolute fear-mongering. Speaks out on the consequences of extreme fandom. This is a good way of saying, hey, everyone, Star Wars fans are crazy, and you should not come in and rescue the franchise, this beloved franchise, with millions and millions of fans all over the world. A franchise that has meant so much to so many people has now been tarnished by these strange social justice warrior extreme left-wingers that have been making terrible movies and terrible decisions. And now the crisis management firm that we believe Lucasfilm has hired to handle the PR has decided to offload all of that blame on fans who are reacting understandably with outrage and fury at the terrible, terrible movies and product that is coming from Lucasfilm, and also the terrible, terrible attitude of the people who work for Lucasfilm towards the fans, the customers. Logan director James Mangold, we were expecting him to mangle Boba Fett, but we were told that all of those films were put on hold indefinitely, perhaps? Indefinitely, question mark? And that was in reaction to, of course, that was going to be the first step in removing Kathleen Kennedy. We put a pause, put a hold on all of the bills that she is expending. You take away her company credit card, stop all of her projects because they're draining, hemorrhaging money, and then find someone new and then maybe reconsider these projects. So James Mangold, it was rumored, was working on the Boba Fett solo film, which could have been really good. James Mangold made 3:10 to Yuma, a remake of a classic Western. It was great, frankly. It was really fun. I would like to see him do Boba Fett. James Mangold is now here to tell us to calm down. Calm the F down, says James Mangold. He's also the director of Logan here, a movie that I haven't seen it, even though I am in the comic book industry. I don't know. I got to this point where I was like, you've seen one Wolverine film, you've seen them all. And I've seen like 3 of them, so I've seen 3 times all of them. It's like I've seen enough Wolverine movies to come out my eyeballs. I don't, no, they're saying, no, Ethan, this one's actually good. I'm like, whoa. The other ones were terrible. No, this one's good. You need to see it. Okay, all right. First things first, I'm getting into Clone Wars today. The controversy, I'm gonna pronounce it this way. The controversy, I like that. That's the British pronunciation. Controversy over Star Wars fans and their reaction to the recent output from the series, mainly The Last Jedi, mainly only The Last Jedi. Everything else kind of orbits around the central sucking wound that is Rian Johnson's The Last Jedi, and this, speaking of orbit, this planet-headed fool who basically cannot get out of our lives. He won't leave. He won't leave. He won't just leave. No. They're planning on giving him 3 more movies. Is this porn? I hope not. Uproxx Lucasfilm is reportedly restructuring. Oh, see, this is garbage tier. All right, get out of here. Damn. You can't even read. You can't read an article. They just immediately they hit you up with ads. Let's scroll down real quick and see if we can make this stupid thing go away. Don't go to Uproxx. Don't ever go to Uproxx, okay? Making life difficult. Yeah. All right. So, mainly The Last Jedi has caused quite a stir online. Not only have 2 of the significant female characters in the series deleted their social media due to abuse. This is a lie. This isn't necessarily true, I should say. We don't know. We don't have the evidence for that because nobody has actually asked them. Apparently, Kelly Marie Tran deleted her Instagram in time for her trip to, I believe, Scotland, which is where episode 9 is going to be filmed. And that is where Kelly Marie Tran will reprise her role as Rose Tico, a much better role, I'm told. They're going to pump her up a little bit and make her character more substantial. Will they make her beautiful? Will they make her cool this time? Well, it's up to J.J. Abrams. I mean, surely he's got his work cut out for him. I would love to see Rose Tico become a Pygmalion kind of story. And the other one, Daisy Ridley Ray, apparently deleted her Instagram or social media due to some stir about the Second Amendment or gun control or something. What? I have no idea. I'm going to do research on that. I'll get back to you. But I'm told it has very little to do with abuse, and mostly probably to do with Kelly Marie Tran signing a non-disclosure agreement. And over episode 9, you want to keep those details tight. And Daisy Ridley, her reasons of her own. But listen, it's Uproxx. They're going to just say whatever they want to say. But director Rian Johnson and anybody in his general vicinity has been swarmed by angry fans. It is truly ridiculous. That is your opinion, and shine some light on the past of the series to prove this isn't a new occurrence. Oh, really? This better not be. I'm doing it again. Oh, man. James Gunn, angry Star Wars fans need to chill out and go to therapy. I recommend not seeing James Gunn movies. That is therapeutic. Yeah. My gosh. And they do this again. Ahem. The most recent thing to happen pulled in Mission Impossible director Christopher McQuarrie to the discussion and ruined his desire to ever make a Star Wars film in his career. All right, I don't know. Were you invited to make a Star Wars film? It not only showed how much Rian Johnson has likely been dealing with on a daily basis, but it also rang the bell for folks to come to the defense of both directors. Well, that's all part of the plan, you see. Rian Johnson, just go away. Stop tormenting your fans on social media. Stop taking bait like George Lucas interviews and trying to slam George Lucas's ideas on Twitter. You'll do much better. People just don't like you. I mean, people just don't like you or your movie. People don't like your attitude. People don't like the video that they discovered of you saying that you planned on making the type of movies that half of the audience despised and the other half liked. They don't like that stuff, and that you would think that was funny. I'm making movies for smart fans. That's fine, Ryan. But could you not make Star Wars films, please? Could you go make your smart movies somewhere else? Could you make your smart, divisive pictures someplace other than Lucasfilm? No? Oh, they're going to give you 3 more? Expect more trouble. Expect to hire 3 more crisis management firms, Lucasfilm, until you get rid of this peanut head. You got to do it. You got to do it. Logan and Copland director James Mangold answered that call without even being involved in the Twitter thread that spawned the issue. Well, that's because Copland, God, that movie was terrible. I didn't know he did that. James Mangold is planning on, or was planning on, directing a Boba Fett film. So here we go. We're being warned off of James Mangold's Star Wars efforts. And with that, Mangold laid out a real concern that should give pause to fans who want to speak out. Oh, really? Hey, you want to speak out against the horror that is being done to Lucasfilm? James Mangold's going to give you reason to shut up. Jumping from Macquarie swearing off the entire franchise, Mangold says that this type of fanatical reaction, fanatic, fan, customer, is going to end up driving any bold talent away and leaving it on the shoulders of the less talented, like Rian Johnson. Mangold, at the point when work, writing, and directing big franchises has become the emotionally loaded equivalent of writing a new chapter of the Bible, with the probable danger of being stoned and called a blasphemer. And a lot of bolder minds are gonna leave these films to hacks and corp boards. That's what's going on right now, James. Do you understand? That's what's going on right now. See, this problem isn't going to solve itself with this kind of an attitude. Right now, these movies are being left to whoever Kathleen Kennedy thinks is cute, and whoever makes her feel comfortable. And that is why we are getting garbage tier movies. Ironically, an ad for a machine that sucks. Right in the middle of this. As you can expect, this brought out a few folks who disagreed or brought up questions, about what he was saying. Mangold handled it in stride, pointing out that Johnson, Macquarie, and others are not just corporate tools, but they're also tools. And the disappointment fans are feeling shouldn't be aimed at them. Why not? Who should it be aimed at? I don't know about Macquarie, but Rian Johnson, absolutely. Ready, aim, fire. He's asking for it. His pompous, arrogant, hubris attitude on Twitter should be met with some derision and scorn. Eric Hassis, they already have. That's correct. They already have left it. This guy's smart. They already have left it to hacks. If you feel that is the case, if you feel the filmmakers are just corporate tools and powerless, we didn't say that. We said they suck. Then why bitch at us? In the case of Rian Johnson and Chris Macquarie, I assure you, these cats are not owned. We pwn them every single day, James. You haven't been watching Comic Artist Pro Secrets. They're constantly pwned. They actually fight your battles behind the scenes. No, they don't. They don't, unless their battles are to quit and go away. And not Macquarie. Stop equating these two. We don't care about Chris Macquarie. He's not involved. We care about Rian Johnson. It's interesting how they do that. What was the religious business? The fervor, some attacks has an evangelical ferocity. Now I get. It calls for many folk, including me. The Star Wars saga holds tremendous spiritual power, similar to a religious text, but we must remember to try to handle our disappointments the way Yoda might, as opposed to Darth. Which Darth? Which Darth are you referring to? You might want to say Vader. What would Yoda do? Yoda would go fly off to a swamp. He would go live in a swamp for 600 years. So would Luke Skywalker. That's not what we want to do. We consider that to be cowardice and surrender. Not so much in Yoda's case. That's not. We're not going to follow Yoda's path here, unless it means backflipping around with a lightsaber and kicking some ass. I'm sorry, we do need to actually point out the problems and demand that they get fixed, James. This might seem evangelical to you. That's because you're too close to it. You're too close to it, and you know Rian Johnson personally, or whatever it is. You're also afraid because you're about to do a Boba Fett movie, perhaps, maybe, and you are going to blame the fans for acting outrageously. Now, some fans do act outrageously. There are a few, not this audience. We just want good Star Wars movies. That's all we want. Is that too much to ask? He also mentions that Star Wars is on a different level than most franchises, and yet it's still being handed over to ridiculous clowns and buffoons and hacks. It's in the wrong hands, James. Don't you understand? Don't compare it to the Bible. I'm sorry. Roundhead Ryan Johnson is not St. Peter. He is not Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. He is garbage. What would Ryan Johnson be? What exactly would Ryan Johnson be in comparison to Moses? I don't know. I don't really know. I think he would be one of the plagues that descends upon Egypt, pisses people off. He's not the frogs, though. Not the frogs. That would actually be kind of cool. But it's not far off either, because some people do treat the film like a gospel, neglecting the fact that the Bible can be and is interpreted in many different ways. We're going to get religious lectures from Uprocks at this point. Spiritual guidance from the people at Uprocks. Yeah, that sounds like a good thing. That sounds fair. Uprocks, help us out. Let us understand the Lord, and also former child stars who don't even get that they aren't famous anymore. Oh, and by the way, the Bible is a sacred text that people are free to interpret in many different ways. Maybe they should go ahead and make their version of The Last Jedi. Recast it and see how well they can do. It can be a modern take on the King James official version of Star Wars that is out there. It'll be terrible, but maybe it'll keep people quiet. Well, that's what we want to do. We want to keep people quiet, don't we? We just want to keep people quiet, and that is why we invented this fellow here who is pretending to remake The Last Jedi. He is pretending to raise money to remake The Last Jedi. It's a ridiculous thing. It's clearly not real. This is clearly what's known as performance art. The question is this guy remaking The Last Jedi, is he a performance artist that is on our side of the aisle, or is he more crisis management from Lucasfilm? I'll leave that up to you to decide. Thanks everybody for joining me. I'll see you a little bit later. Okay, bye. Hey, want to follow me on Twitter? Okay, cool. I'm at Ethan Van Sciver. Talk to you there. Hey, thanks everyone. Thanks for your continued support on this channel. Me and my family, thank you very much. Your Uncle Ethan, your Aunt Andrea. I'm still trying to get her used to being called Aunt Andrea. She's starting to like it. Thank you for watching this video. And thanks for clicking thumbs up on it. Would you mind subscribing and ringing the bell for notifications if you haven't yet? We want you to join this community, and we want you to be a part of the discussion about what the hell is going on with Star Wars and other topics. And I want to thank everybody who donates to the Patreon, people who attend the live streams and donate super chats. Thank you very much for funding this channel. Thank you to everybody who has bought t-shirts, hats. Those links are all in the description. You want a Fandom Menace t-shirt, a Fandom Menace hat, you want a This Better Not Be Porn t-shirt, that is brand new. You gotta check that out. And thank you to everyone who's bought Cyberfrog Blood Honey. Thank you. Hey everyone, meet Cyberfrog Blood Honey colorist, Kyle Ritter. Hello, potential Indiegogo backers. Hello, friends. My name is Ethan Van Sciver. I'm a comic book creator who worked for 20 years for Marvel and DC Comics on books like Green Lantern, Flash, Superman, Batman, and X-Men. But before that, I had a comic book called Cyberfrog. Now, Cyberfrog lasted from 1993 to 1998, and then it stopped when I went to go work for DC Comics. Now I want to tell the story of where Cyberfrog has been for the last 20 years. I want to write, pencil, ink a book called Cyberfrog Blood Honey that tells the story of gigantic alien hornets that come to Earth and conquer it, sending Cyberfrog into deep hibernation, where he emerges now in the year 2018 into a completely alternate reality, a new world where these hornets have taken over,
devastated humanity, using human skin to make gigantic wasp hives, and harvesting human blood to make honey to feed their young. Very few humans still exist. But it's up to Cyberfrog to save what's left of humanity and turn back the damage that's been done by these wasps with his brother Salamandroid and his friend Heather Swain. I want you to help me do this. We're going to get colors by Kyle Ritter. He's a fantastic colorist, and he's going to make this book sing. I'd like this to be a 48-page one-shot prestige format, part 1 of 4. So I'm asking you to help me launch the very first Cyberfrog Blood Honey epic graphic novel. Are you in? Will you help me? I hope so. Let's get this frog jumping again. Show your friends you support independent comics while showing the world who you back in the fight against the swarm with the brand new Cyberfrog t-shirt from Crypto Fashion and Comic Artist Pro Secret. Sizes come in small to 5XL, and take your choice of colors between navy blue, white, and black. And if you haven't yet, go ahead and order the Fandom Menace, Go Get Daddy's Belt, Tico, and Soilo t-shirts as well. Link is below in the description. You're gonna look great. People love these shirts. They fit wonderfully. Thank you very much.